I hate to sleep with one eye open. I see the headlights turn to shadows driving past. I hope one night it's not you going, 'cause you woke up and realized what you could have. You sleep with peace of mind, you don't worry. I'm wide awake, I know it's gonna hurt me. Wish you could do is show a little mercy now. So if you're gonna leave me in the middle of the night. Set the bed on fire. Set the bed on fire. If you're gonna leave me. Don't say goodbye. Just set the bed on fire. Maybe set the bed on fire. And let it burn, let it burn, let it burn all the way to the night. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn, let it burn all. Sometimes I wonder what you're thinking. You say you love me, but sometimes I have my baby. What if our ship wouldn't sink? Would I be the only one hanging on when it goes down? You sleep with peace, would I be the only worry? I'm wide awake, I know it's gonna hurt me. Least you could do is show a little mercy now. So if you're gonna leave me in the middle of the night, set the bed on fire. Set the bed on fire. If you're gonna leave me, and don't say goodbye. Set the bed on fire. Set the bed on fire. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn all the way to the ground. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn, let it burn all the way down. Let it burn all the way down. Let it burn all the way down. Don't drag it out, don't hang around, don't take your time, don't twist the knife, don't let me see it, just let me dream. So if you're gonna leave me in the middle of the night, oh, set the bed on fire, set the bed on fire. If you're gonna leave me, don't say goodbye, don't say goodbye. Set the bed on fire. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn all the way to the ground. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn, let it burn all the way down. Let it burn, let it burn, let it burn all the way to the ground. Just let it burn, let it burn, let it burn, let it burn on down. I'm so used to being broke, but not no more. I'm buying all the things I never could afford. Like what the hell? Top shelf. We gon' toast tonight, temporary will. Mama told me, baby, save it, knowing me, I probably won't. All this money in my pocket, gotta go. I'm so used to being broke. Remember days like just same. Same old me. Can't afford some change, but that doesn't change a thing. I'm so used to being broke, but not no more. I'm buying all the things I never could afford. Like what the hell? Top shelf. We gon' talk tonight, temporary well. I'm a Tony, baby, saving over me. I probably won't. All this money in my pocket, gotta go. I'm so used to being broke. Dropping out of college, said goodbye to that degree. Playing at every college party from Georgia to Tennessee. Packing six up in a van, six string in my hand, sleeping in a parking lot, drinking Natty out the can. They saying that I'm rich, but I got a couple dollars to blow. You know, yeah, you know. Yeah, we gon' celebrate tonight. Some champagne on some ice. 'Cause you can't take it with you when you go. I'm so used to being broke, but not no more. Buying all the things I never could afford. What the hell? People talk tonight, temporary well. I'm a Tony, baby, saving over me. I probably won't. All this money in my pocket, gotta go. I'm so used to being broke.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Love's Passion Talk. Tonight we are talking about colorism. I do hope y'all enjoyed that music because I was back here doing this. I am in love with me some Teddy Swims. That's who that was. So yes, tonight we're talking about colorism again. My name is Love's Passion. I come to you here every Sunday, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, every Sunday. And we here at Love's Passion Talk strive on normalizing the conversation on sex and sexuality. We deal with topics that relate to anything, love, relationship, life, just it's open conversation, open dialogue with real people just sitting around chatting. We invite you to come in and join our discussion. If you'd like to make a comment or come on screen, just put it in the chat. If you're new here to Twitch, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, like and follow if you're on Facebook or YouTube, because we simulcast every Sunday right here from Twitch. If you are new to this platform, feel free to join in, and down at the bottom there's a little box you can put in chat comments. We allow for all type of dialect. We don't discriminate for any dialect. If it's on your mind, you want to say it, put it in the chat. We'll be more than happy to chat with you. Without any further ado, I'm going to start to bring up our beautiful co-host, starting with the amazing Miss Peanut Butter. You know her, you love her. I know I do. She's an amazing poet. She's an inspiring author. Without any further ado, Miss Peanut Butter. Hey, everyone.
How are you? Yes, I like Teddy Swims too, baby. And if they don't listen to him, they missing out. They sleeping on him.
Right. I was back here. I was like, okay, I gotta start the show. This is
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
Okay, let me stop. We would have all day of Teddy Swims. I might play him in the background some more.
Oh,
What you
Lord
been
Jesus.
up to, Miss PB and J?
I am still working on my book. I'm trying to get it done. My goal is December, so fingers crossed. That's only if I don't get my rough draft back and look like it's been bleeding, because people like using the red ink pens.
Yeah.
My chapbook, still doing my poetry. I love my poetry. I do, and I'm just cooking. I just cook. I like cooking.
And I know I like to eat, so I gotta lose weight because birthday coming up, and I'm going Puerto Rico, so I got slipped in my food, so I can't come up to your house just yet. But as soon as
Okay.
that's over,
All right, you better be ready for Thanksgiving. Seafood
oh,
Thanksgiving.
yes, I'm in. Count me in. Hey, Brown Eyes. Hey, not your average guy. Thank you guys for joining.
Hey.
Thank you guys for joining us here on Twitch. I hope y'all ready for this topic. Let me bring up our other co-host, Miss Deb. You know her, you love her. She is our local feel good person. She is
Yes.
also a manager of a very amazing event center here in Texas, and she's
Mhm.
doing big things. Let's go ahead and bring her up. Hey, Miss Deb.
Hey y'all.
Hey.
Yeah, you at work, huh?
I'm doing what I do.
Right,
So
right.
y'all
Smile.
forgive me if
Look
I have
at
to
smile.
bounce off for a
That
second or two,
beautiful
but I'll be
smile.
back.
I
Oh,
like that beautiful. She
if that's all
smiles
right.
good.
All right. Let them look at them nails.
I
Oh,
know. Let me see. Look at the nail work. Look at the nail work. I can't even get on your level. I'm trying to get to you. I got the holograms. You
People
got
are like,
another
"Do you work?" I'm like, "I work hard."
no. Do you white?
level. That's
Not too
the
hard,
That's the comment. That's the comment. Oh, you white? Yeah, white. Just
but I did for yeah, yeah, yeah.
Brown Eye says hello, both of you all. Say hey to
Hi
Brown Eye. It's not
guys.
your
Hey,
average
brown
guy.
eyes.
And we want to thank everyone again for joining in and listening in. Be sure to share and host this show because it is bound to be amazing. We are going to bring in our other co-host as soon as he joins us, Mr. Ty, because you know we are a pie. And now, right now, we are sitting on a third, but that's all right. Our fourth always come through with no
He do.
problem.
Yep.
We're
Free.
gonna hold it until he get back. We're gonna hold it down until he get in here. But we'll be waiting on him. We'll bring him in later. So listen, we are talking about this here. Topic is Miss Deb's topic. And I got that straight from her, and she's very passionate about this topic. So it was important that we brought it to the table to discuss, and she got her drink. She got her drink. Wait,
I
where
love
my?
everybody.
I don't got a drink. I don't got a drink. I'm
We need
sipping
to fix that.
on. I'll go
We
get me a bottle of water in a minute. Let's go ahead and jump into this. Where we're gonna start off with, I'm gonna just give you a brief definition of what colorism is, and then a description of racism and colorism. Okay, because it gets confused. It's not the same, but it's in the same family. So it's like they, you know,
They
large
related. They
dog,
cousins.
right? They cousins. So, uh, colorism is let me go back. I'm sorry. I'm going to read this directly from the journal, so I didn't make this up. Colorism: prejudice or discrimination against individuals with a dark skin tone, typically among people of the same ethnical race and ethnic group. Okay, that's colorism. The difference between colorism and racism, uh, you all know what racism is. So I'm not going to read a definition for that because you know what racism is. But for colorism and racism, it runs hand in hand. Only difference is it's your own people being discriminatory towards you. So we are addressing this topic because it's important to this is the elephant on the wall. You know, we are Black women of all shades and all hues, but we have different life experiences. And we want to bring that to the forefront and make it something that is not so passe, cliche. And really discuss it. Right here today, just looking at the screen, you see we are all different shades, but of the same race. But our experiences growing up, our experiences in dating, in family and friends in general has been a total opposite of each other. And we're gonna try to figure out why. Peanut butter.
She ready. What?
Peanut butter. What do you think about this topic?
You would stole me first, huh?
I
That's how we
always start with you.
go. I guess I think it starts when we're younger, and people don't believe this, but social media has a lot to do with it, right? But think
Right.
about it. It started back in the 60s and 70s when we had black people passing off as white because they were a lighter shade. So I think that that may have set some type of ingrained something inside of the darker skinned people. Say, oh, they think they, you know, that's where the house nigga term come from when it come to light skinned people. You know what I'm saying? When it comes to that type of situation. And I think it just got passed down generation after generation. And then you got the TV that helps with it too. Because think about it, when they put a good looking black man in our generation, he was always light skinned, had colored eyes, but he was black, but he was light skinned. So we thought that's how men were supposed to look. We didn't know we
Right.
could do the dark ones too. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
I think it it comes down through the generations, and then with the media and entertainment influencing it. That's along with the music too, because back in the day they didn't have dark skinned girls in the videos. They were always light bright Latino. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
we have to look at, we see this visual all the time, so it connects. Because when I was in high school, I thought the light skinned girls had the life. They always came to school clean. I didn't even took a look at nobody else because I was stuck on the light skinned girls. I had to get me a friend that was mixed. You know what I'm saying? Because I wanted to feel like I was something. Like they was captain of a cheerleading team. You know, they always did shit we couldn't do. So
Right.
I envied the light skin for a long time. I did until adulthood when I had someone call me a beautiful chocolate drop. I didn't know how to take it at first. I didn't know how to put it back. And I was like, "You're talking to me?" Yes, yes, you're beautiful. I love your skin. It's beautiful.
Right.
And I was in awe. I was like, damn, I am black as hell. So I mean, it just passes down like that though.
All right. All right. So that's look, we're gonna dissect a lot of things that you just said, but we're gonna let the see if we can get Deb in here. Uh Deb, this is your topic.
Yes. You want to know
What
what
you
I
got?
think about the topic?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Um. Well, I agree with peanut butter, but I think the colorism started, from back during slavery times when there was the house Negro and and the field Negro, but I kind of wanted to talk about it because I think a lot of the conceptions that or the ideas that people have about light skinned women are false. I think ego and arrogance comes in all skin tones. And I've never subscribed to um, putting anyone in a box, any one group in a box. And I would just like to say that what I'm most proud of today is that I think melanated women are being celebrated more than ever. And the beauty of melanated women is being celebrated more than ever. So I'm happy to see that because I think when we were talking last week, I told you guys that melanated women have always been beautiful.
Right.
And I hate that uh, some women don't feel like they are. So I'll just stop there.
Yeah, I feel you. I feel you. I feel you, Deb. So Brown Eye 77 says colorism is so real. I am light skinned and people have when judged when by I'm thinking she's saying when by my skin color before they even got to know me, just
Hmm.
because I was light skinned with long hair, and this was done to me by Afro Americans.
Right. To be honest with you, brown eyes, that's the only person I've ever had problems with it with.
Mm,
And
mm,
it's sad that you have to prove yourself to people sometimes because they already have this idea of who they think you are,
Right.
you know.
Right. So let me ask, for our chatters as well as our co-hosts, and y'all can jump in anytime. Um, have you ever lost a job or a loved one because you were too black or too light?
Okay, I'll speak on this first.
Okay.
Most of my issues have been um, with someone having an issue with me being fair skinned. I've only
Mm,
had an issue when I dated one guy who kept commenting over and over and over about me being part white. He was in he and I found out that he dated primarily white women. And
mm-hmm,
so this guy, it was almost like this guy was saying to me, because you're part white, that's why I'm dating you. So that's the
mm,
only experience I've had in dating from that aspect. But most of the time, I usually date chocolate men, and I've gotten a lot of comments about you know my skin tone on several occasions.
mm. What about you, peanut butter?
Oh shit. See, at first when Dad brought this conversation up, I was like, I ain't got too much to say about it. But now that the definition is came and hit home, I've lost. I used to be a stripper, and most guys got their idea of what a stripper's supposed to look like. And I got turned down for several jobs because I was too dark. Yes, I was
Damn
not light
fools!
enough.
I would have put you on that pole in 2 seconds.
Oh, I was good at what I mean. I didn't need a poll. I could do whatever I had to do, but they didn't judge us by what we could do. They just lined us up in a room. It was like, she's too dark. She's too dark. And I'm looking at him like, I really got offended. Like, I got upset. But I
You
was like,
should
okay,
have.
maybe it wasn't meant for me.
Mm,
Um, we always talking about how it affects our sex life, and this for me is so crazy. I've had two husbands and dated all kind of shades. In a black man, I've had all kind of shades, right? But it seemed like the lighter skinned people that I dated hurted me the most. Both
mm,
of my husbands, both of my husbands are a little bit darker than me. Yeah, a little bit darker than me. So we're close to the same color, right? Those two, I got over them quickly, but the ones that I tried to give a chance and pour myself into were the light skin, and those were the one that hurt me the most. It's
mm,
crazy, now that we sit and we think about it, and you just think about it when people put on your Facebook timeline the pictures of the guys that's all greased up and stuff. Most of them they try to put light skinned, not knowing that we have chocolate men in this world that looks just as beautiful. You know,
exactly.
They
Exactly.
are just as beautiful.
Darker the
they
berries,
are.
sweeter
Oh
the
my
juice.
god. Oh my god. Okay, so it's something that you have to check yourself on, because I have five kids and they're all different shades. Nobody's the same color. One is lighter than the other. One is way darker than everybody else. But you would have to fight them for someone to say, "Oh, well, she darker than you." Nah, we the same color. Those are
Mm,
my children, and I didn't even
right.
realize I did that.
Mm.
Teaching them, because I'm looking at TV like I don't want them to think this is how it's supposed to go.
Listen,
It's
Brown Eye says I was called a red bone as a child, which pissed me off.
Well,
Have
you
you
should have
heard
said
that?
how it was as a child. Dang.
I was
Yeah, you
called
can't
red
go.
bone, yellow bone, Goldilocks, Oreo. I mean, just all kinds of things.
My
Oreo. I'd
experience
have
with
heard Oreo before.
colorism didn't come from people I didn't know. My experience with colorism came from my family. I'm the darkest person in my family. So
Wow.
my things were, you need makeup, or you know, you need to stand in the light so we can see you. And these were not children that were coming out with these things. So my experience with colorism is a different type of colorism because I was too shy to uh, interact with people. But the idea of having that type of colorism and racism come towards you from your own family is a different thing. But it taught me early on to love myself first and to hell with what everybody else says, no matter who they are. I always thought I was beautiful. I didn't need makeup. I didn't need the extra stuff. You know, I had this body from age freaking 7. So attention was not something I lacked. So, but yeah, uh, it's crazy that we're we can recognize racism right off, but we don't see ourselves, being racist or being colorist to our own people. Have you ever caught yourself in the colorism spectrum? You see somebody and kind of judge them just based off of how they look in that part of their color or their shade or their hue. You had to catch yourself, never did.
I have, and
Yeah,
and and I have, and it it made me stop after that one incident. It only took one incident. We were doing a show for the Dallas Cowboys. One of the Dallas Cowboys came in for a birthday party, and this chick, I'm talking about, she was drop dead as gorgeous. You hear me? About your color, Deb. I'm talking about beautiful. Do you understand what I am saying? And I wouldn't say anything to her. I would just look up and down, all this, saying my little old, I think she bougie. I ain't finna say nothing to her, da 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 da. And she didn't have an attitude. It's just that's how I perceived her just by looking at her. Right. So I never forget this. We were on day shift at the club, and she walked up. She said, "You're peanut butter, right?" And I said, "Yes." She said, "I have a question to ask you." And she just started talking to me like we had been friends forever. And when she finished talking to me, I apologized to her. I said, "I want to apologize to you." She said, "Why?" I said, "Because I thought you was a bougie bitch." So she was like, I said, "I'm sorry." I said, "I was judging the book by its cover." She said, "Don't worry. I get it all the time, but I'm not." She said, "I have 5 kids. I just want to make my money and take care of my family. That's it."
and that is something that resonates across the board. We're all the same type of people, except for we have these things, these biases that have been ingrained in us from childhood. And they're not our thoughts, but they're there, and they're kind of unescapable because you've heard the lighter is better, whiter is righter, uh you know
No, no.
you know wrong. No, these are the things that
I've
are
never
pushed
heard
by
those.
media. Well, these are things that are pushed by media when they represent the good person in the white hat, the bad person in the black hat. When the scary movies are in the
Yep,
dark,
yep.
the love movies are in the light. These are those things that we don't even realize that are implanted in our thoughts. Lighter is better. Lighter is good. Lighter is love. Lighter is happy. Lighter is fun. Dark is, dirty, dingy. It's scary. We don't really realize it, but these marketing strategies that are implanted in our thoughts just from childhood. You don't want to
Uh,
sleep in the dark because the monster gonna come get you.
Brown Eye said she's never judged anyone based on their color, skin color.
when
She called us beautiful. She called us. Hold on.
look at you. Stop.
Thank you.
All right, so guys, we have in our waiting room Mr. Ty Bear. Y'all know him, y'all love him. He's our big teddy bear, and he's our fourth piece to our masterpiece. And we're gonna go ahead and bring him up. Let me see. It doesn't look like he quite ready yet. I'm gonna let him get a little bit more ready, and I'll bring him on when I think he's in here and
I can
waiting to
smell
talk to
it.
us about this. Oh God.
I can smell him.
Okay, peanut butter, stop it.
She can
What
smell the must.
No, hold on. You do not understand. When we had that lunch, his pheromones was all up and through my sinus cavities.
and they implanted on you and they just stayed there.
And y'all better quit leaving me and child on the phone because we be talking
Yeah,
shit.
y'all get in trouble on a regular. On a regular. I'm gonna go ahead and bring him up and then we're gonna continue this topic. Hey Ty Bear.
Hey, 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 my loves. Mwah.
Hi.
Mwah.
We got our whole pie. We got our whole pie. We're a complete set now.
Yes,
Yes, I
yes.
can smell you. I can smell. Is it? Wait. Ty, is there a line in your haircut? Oh, yeah,
Right here.
down there. Okay, you okay? You good? I thought for sure you getting cleaned up over there. Let me find out.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
what's going on, Ty? What's going on?
Uh,
How
I
you been?
am. I'm doing good. I'm actually in Atlanta right now at the moment for work. So I'm at a really big studio. We got a big um, number one studio in Atlanta right now at the moment, and we got a big showcase, a big show on Monday tomorrow. So yeah, in the studio just working, man. Been here. It's day when you go in and it's day when you leave. So just exciting things, big things.
Oh, good. Congratulations on loving your job.
Yes.
Everybody should aspire to love their job. All right, Ty. We got this. We got Miss Dev's topic tonight. Colorism. Have you ever experienced colorism?
Every day I wake up as a black man.
Mm. Mm.
I wake up as a black man every day, and
Right. It,
colorism comes out in so many different forms and fashions. And as you get older, you see more and more of it.
mm,
It being institutionalized, it being systematic, and it's just being you see more and more of colorism comes out and what it stands for and what it doesn't stand for and who's who and who's what. So
right. Right. And it doesn't hurt that you got that good hair and a good skin.
I'm so like it'd be like, and it's crazy because you think I had to prove so much more that I was him. I'm really him. Like I can, I catch wreck with the best of them, and I had to prove that because I had to fight so much more. I had to defend myself so much more because of the good hair and the light skin, or you think you're a pretty boy, and uh, I'm a kid. I'm a young man just like you. So.
Right.
Yep. Girls had to go through that too. Fighting over because of their skin. The light skinned girls, they were the AKA mean girls.
Hmm.
In my time, I'm not saying everyone's time, but even if we didn't know them, we just knew them as the mean girls
Yeah.
because whatever they said went. That's why I told you I felt like I envied them a little bit because I felt like they had the best life. People following them around, doing whatever they say.
Right.
The quarterback coming out the room, I'm like, damn, I'm right there. Hey, how you
Yeah.
doing? What happened?
So, Dev, was that your experience as a light skin?
I mean, men have always liked me, but I've never been a mean girl. Well, no, that's not true. That's not true. But it didn't have nothing to do with me being light skinned.
No, you was just mean in general. That wouldn't come to your skin tone.
I was just mean. Okay, let me explain what I'm saying. Okay, so
Yeah.
I definitely did not have the light skinned girl experience that Peanut Butter thinks that we have, because I was raised by a single mom. I was poor. I didn't have nice clothes. I was bullied at school. You know, I was very passive for many years of my life. I think we've talked about this before. I kind of, I got so many comments about you think you're cute or you think you're this, that I would go within and kind of dim my light to make other people feel comfortable.
Mhm.
And so, but about eighth grade, I was like, I'm done with this shit. I don't have time for this anymore. So I was less tolerant, for it. Eighth grade, ninth grade, 10th grade. I just wasn't taking any more mess from people. So when I say I was the mean girl, that's what I mean. But I don't think it had anything to do with me being light skinned on
You
Mhm.
my
just talk.
part. You
Yeah,
know,
So,
you just
yeah, so how are, I mean, we all have children. How are you grooming your children to not feed into the biases that we bought into or were fed growing up?
it's not easy. It's
Hey,
really not
Dr.
easy.
Rich, thanks for joining.
Hey, it's not easy, especially when you have one child lighter than the other one. It's really hard.
Right.
But if you like, if I call him a nappy-headed Negro, I'm calling all y'all a nappy-headed Negro. I'm not gonna just call one and one not. I'm gonna call you all the same thing. I promise you, whatever I call one, I call the other. I try to keep, even when it comes to loving them. I love them all. Like I have five. I make sure that each one of them had their own day. On the weekend, it was the family thing, all of us gonna spend time together. And now they're grown. It works out. You can't tell my kid that they're not, you can't tell my kids they're not all the same shade.
Mm,
Like it'll be a fight. It'll be a whole fucking debate in the house. And
yeah.
I'm cool with that. Even though I know they're not the same shade, but they colorblind to that. You know what I'm saying? And then I look at my 21-year-old, his baby mama 10 times darker than me, right? So
Hmm.
it doesn't matter to them about the shade of your skin. You know,
Right.
now, I once again, you said it. Family does it. Every freaking family. My mom was a quick
family
one.
and adults.
Right.
Right.
DJ, he's so red and but City darker than DJ. I was like, Mommy, no, no, they brothers and sisters. It ain't no skin tone. I
Mm,
had to it took me a while to get that out their head because my mom was steady preaching that. Like, don't do that.
yeah.
This is not the 50s. This is not the
Right.
60s. Don't do that. Because
Right.
they need to be able to I don't want to cause we don't realize it caused division between the kids. Mom
Yeah.
loves me better than you because you're lighter than no, you cannot
Right.
do that. You have to put your foot down and say, y'all my babies, period. It don't matter who light, bright, damn near white. It doesn't matter.
Right.
Y'all my kids. I'm gonna beat all of y'all asses. I'm gonna feed you. I'm gonna love you. Everybody gonna get the same love and the ass whooping. So you choose, how you wanna live your life.
Mm.
So let me ask you a
Right.
question. Do you think we do our children a disservice sometimes by not telling them, particularly like not telling them about your skin color early, about like what to be prepared for? These things may be held against you, or you may, just be mindful of that, or you
Think
know.
about this. We
I had
grew
the
up in an
conversation
era.
actually.
Well, think about this, the era that probably me, Deb, and Love grew up in. When you had the Cosby Show, they always had that one light skinned kid in there, right?
Hmm.
What else was it? Parenthood. They had one light skinned kid. Like they had Family Matters. One light skinned skin. So it was like they was trying to teach us right then and there that we're all a family. Doesn't matter
Mm,
about the shade, but we didn't see it as such. It was trying to be taught to us then to break it up out of us because this had been passed down through generations. So they was trying to break it up then.
Hmm.
Um,
right.
Different World. Let's go with Different World. They had all kind of shades in there. Like you couldn't miss a shade. You pull
Mm-hmm.
out a palette, you was gonna hit each shade, but they were all a family,
Mm-hmm.
Right.
right? It didn't
Right.
matter about who was light skinned and dark skinned. So they was trying to break us out of it. But it's
Right.
hard when you got them to push it right back in your face.
Exactly. When the girls on the screen who the rappers choose to shake their butt, or the models, or the actors that you see, they
Right.
don't reflect who you are or what you look like. That's why these bleaching companies, are really making the tough, because it's not something that's just centralized to the United States. This
Mm-mm.
goes into Europe. The colorism goes, it isn't, we would love to say, okay, yes, slavery is the thing that brought about the colorism dynamic, but it is not. It is something that is inbred and ingrown within us as a not a nation, but as a culture, because it crosses all barriers and all lines. We like to say, well, yes, the lighter skinned slaves got treated better, and that's where all this came from. But when you look at other countries, they are having the same problems with colorism within, how black people are treated. Go ahead. Go ahead,
No,
The
Ty.
no,
top
no. I mean, no. What you're saying, okay, I understand exactly what you're saying, right? But I don't think sometimes we don't give enough credence to how actually the transatlantic slave trade was so um dominant and has such a major influence on so many cultures. Like the
Right,
transatlantic slave trade and the practices thereof and the mentality thereof carried by a group of people towards a darker skinned person,
right,
those same characteristics have shaped countries, cultures, religions. It has shaped it to what we know now. We're looking at a 400-year period plus that literally changed the the globe.
right,
Yeah, because if you're in a Latino community and you're darker than what they call a regular, you're outcast. Look
Yes,
at Afro Latina. Is that her name? Afro Latina. She's not being accepted by black or her culture
right.
because how dark she is and how her hair is, and I've heard we stay next to some Hispanics, and one of the daughter's hair
Yes,
was
brown
really,
eyes.
really curly. It was really, really curly. Called her cochina. I didn't know
mm,
what that meant at the time. I went and looked it up, and I was like, "They calling her nasty? Why?" And
It,
she told me, she said, "Because my hair won't stay straight. My
yes,
family really treats me as an outcast." It's like,
yes.
it didn't make
It,
sense to me.
it's. I
I didn't
mean,
get
think
it.
about it. We are taught to hate black.
right,
We are
Hmm.
Right.
taught, literally taught, programmed to hate black. Everything black is bad. Is black
right,
magic, right? Uh, Black is bad. If you seen a black cat, that's bad luck.
right. Brown
Right.
Eyes
I
777 says,
will
I
bust a
saw
U-turn on your ass.
right. Brown Eyes 777 said, I saw in Cuba, the light skinned Cubans are treated better than the darker skinned Cubans, even though they are all Cubans.
Absolutely, like it's same thing in the Dominican. Like some of my family, my Dominican family, right? The dark
Right,
skinned ones over there, they are they treated bad.
right,
They treated bad. And the part that baffles me is that, and I try not to take all the credit, but the black man and black woman of America, right, has been is what people look at as the bad to black. It blows my mind when you have Jamaicans, you have Haitians, you have Dominicans, you have Cubans, and they don't like black people.
mm,
It blows my mind when
right,
you literally have Jamaicans, Haitians, and Africans, Native Africans that do not like black American black people.
They think we
mm,
are beneath them.
Right? They don't consider themselves black.
Right.
till they start
Because
getting treated like
they've
that.
been they've been taught to not like black, or black is not better, white is better, the lighter is better. They've been taught the same thing that we've been taught, throughout our generations, throughout slavery time, throughout our time on this earth, period, as
Hmm.
black people. Brown Eye 777 art says, I remember when I would go out with my friends, I was the lightest one, and I think the boys thought having a light skinned girlfriend made them feel good, but my brown skinned friends were beautiful too. Now that
Yes.
brings up the topic of dating and relationships. You know, it used to be that rarely you would see two bright people together and two dark people together. And,
Yeah.
you know, each one wanted the other to make either a lighter skinned baby, or, to not have a dark skinned baby.
Right.
My favorite
You talking
saying.
about grafting?
My favorite saying. Y'all can make pretty babies together.
You,
You can
Yes,
make
that's
pretty
that.
babies together.
you
That's
talking
what
about?
that was the excuse they used.
Yeah, you're gonna make pretty
Right.
babies, but what they didn't realize is and I'm not trying to get too deep into history, but the process of grafting, grafting is a process, and you had to do your own research because I don't want to get too far into it, but understand the science behind grafting and how they use the black men and black women and to create lighter shades and lighter shades and lighter shades. And if the mother and the father gave birth to a baby that was too black, that baby was an angel baby and it was never given back to the mother, and they killed the baby. And this is how they was able to, over
Gator.
time, erase the melanin, the OCA2 gene out of what we have in melanin people. They erased it out, and that's the process of grafting. So even in that science and history, the blacker the baby, oh, it wasn't right. It was an evil baby. They had to get rid of it.
Mm.
They had to kill it, and this is how they kept it out. So, you know, it's just, we are dealing with a brainwashed society, and we've all been victim to it. I know I have been victim to it. When I was younger, I did not date dark skinned girls. I just
Right.
didn't. I didn't.
You're hitting
Wow.
Go ahead.
you're hitting the nail right on the head, because
Yeah.
when I'm of a smaller statue, I'll say that. And there is a thing about prejudice against smaller people, whatever. Tall people don't want to date, tall women don't want to date shorter guys, and tall guys want shorter women. Don't understand it. I never thought about it until I got older, and I started realizing I never had a short boyfriend. They just never were attracted to me in that way. Well, all of my boyfriends are, they were always of a lighter hue. It wasn't a choice. It just seemed like that was the norm, for a darker skin to be attracted to a lighter skin. Um, and it wasn't even a conscious thought. It was just, that's what I like. And I never did I question, why do you only like light skin? Is that something you came up with, or is that an implanted thought? What do y'all think about that?
I think they rise off your energy. I really think it rise off your energy because I've dated both. Shit, I didn't date some motherfuckers probably darker than the screen behind me. I'm just
That's a
saying.
good thing.
I'm just saying, but I think it really rises off your energy because um my first boyfriend was black. He was dark as hell. But the guy I got engaged to first was light skinned. He
Mm,
cheated on me. It comes to a point where you feel like, and it might not be this for everybody, but for me, it got to a point where I can't do light skinned men no more because I feel like they gonna keep hurting me.
mm,
I'm not saying the dark skin didn't hurt me, but it's like
right,
they had more passion in the relationship. They were more touchy feely to me. It was more
right.
going on. But with the two that I did date, they were so literal. You couldn't
Mm,
joke around with them. You know what I'm saying? And then it was a why behind, or why are you doing this? Why are you doing that? And everything was criticized. I just
Mm,
couldn't deal with that. And I don't know if it was just the men I were picking, but it just seemed in my battle for light skin versus dark skin type situation, the light
uh,
skins always fucked me over.
mm.
Now
So
that's my experience.
within that experience, do you believe that your lived experiences created that dynamic? Because I mean, peanut butter, you're
Yes,
saying that you're more attracted to the darker skinned or darker hue men.
yes.
Have you ever asked yourself why? Why am I attracted to the darker skin? What makes them more attracted to me versus what's on the inside, outside of their outside standing?
Well, that's you would okay. Thank you for putting me on the spot. I appreciate you. For me, I go off of my experiences. What did I learn out of that situation? What did I take from this relationship? You know, to do these things. I try my very best not to hold on to negative things. I try to take lessons learned over, right? So
Mhm.
in my two light skinned experiences, relationships, I'm not talking about sexual, I'm saying relationships. It just I have to I'm not saying I'm cutting light skinned men all together because I'm talking to someone that maybe I don't know what the hell he is, but I am talking to him and he is light skinned and I'm nervous
Mm,
because it seems like something's missing.
mm. And it's
It
based on skin tone is what's missing.
maybe that's what it is. Cause I mean, I think if you would make that same person darker, like if you could change their color in front of me, I probably would jump all over them. It's
Mm.
weird. It's
All right.
crazy. I don't know why, but that is how it is. And it could have to do with my great grandparents. Because my great grandmother, she is a full blooded Indian, but my great grandfather was my color. And she fell for him and left her tribe for him. So it might be passed down through the gene pool. I don't know.
Okay, so Brown Eye 777 say I prefer a darker skinned man. Is just what I'm attracted to, but I am not against any color. And again, I'm asking the why, because this is something that resonates through everyone, but no one has really dug deep within and said, well, I like darker skinned men because of this. We have these
What
preferences
about
that
Ty? What about Ty? Let's get into the women. Why he like what he prefer?
let's ask Deb first. Deb,
Ty,
what you
you know.
I
did?
777 and I are kindred spirits
Uh-huh.
because I too prefer darker skinned men. Um, I tried to date lighter skinned men. It's just
Ain't work.
don't really do it for me. You know. I mean, and I've
So
seen white men that I find attractive, but as far as dating them, I'm just not interested in doing that.
Okay, so let's ask Ty Bear. Ty
ooh, let me get
Bear. Ty Bear,
Yes, man.
your preference
On what exactly?
on dating, the hue.
The hue? Oh,
Mm-hmm.
the pack of the battery sweeter the juice, baby.
yeah. Yeah, I like you. I think I like you.
but yeah. But look, I love a good woman. It doesn't does the color, her hue, long as her spirit color is right, long as that energy is right, that aura is right, that's the color I pay attention to. That's real. That to me speaks volume. Like I can't see your color without getting through that color first. You know, So that's kind of like where I'm at now. Younger, I might have had a different answer, but now, yeah, your color of your aura is what I like.
That's what's
So
up.
let me ask the panel, as well as our chatters, in dating. I was having a discussion with a group of women, and we were talking about dating Caucasians or dating outside of their race. And many of them, again, these are African American women, many of them were against it. My question to you all are you for or against dating outside your race? If so, why?
Who want to go first?
I'm
I'll go
not
first.
against it.
I'm against it.
Well, I'm not completely against. I'm gonna tell you why. Now, Daddy, I hope you ain't watching, and I hope don't nobody tell you what I'm about to say.
Uh,
I do not like men like my father. My father only dates white women, and his justifications for making that decision, I don't like. I'm not against you dating outside your race as long as you don't hate the women of your race to do it. You understand what I'm
Or
saying?
men. Or
Exactly.
men.
So
what mommy issues
do
do
what
he
you
have
want
to
to
hate the
do.
black
If it,
woman?
like Ty said, if the aura is right, if the vibe is right, if everything is right, I really don't care. I think that's what's wrong with the world in a sense. But if you
Mhm.
hate your own to
How can you love another?
and that's your justification for dating outside your race, I'm not down for that.
Yeah, I mean, absolutely. I am. We have our black women need us. Our black women need us, and for real, we need a black woman because she the only one strong enough to keep us straight. The only one that's brave enough to buck us when we need some bucking and get right. Some Mister Get Right. And our black women need us, man. They deserve they strong black man back. They deserve that. You know what I mean? They
Yes,
need us.
they.
We
Yes,
no one's going to
yes.
protect them like we're going to protect them. No one can understand them the way we can understand them. Like no one can under no other man is strong enough to tame or control or put up or be able to grasp the total awesomeness of a black woman. No one, no other man can do that except a black man. Except a black man, and that's just how I see it. I know that you can't. There's some good people all over,
Right.
right? There's some good people all over, I will never say that if you fall in love with someone that outside of being black and you're black, that you're not in love. I will never say that at all. I will never say that. But are black. We need to take care of home first. We need to get home first in order, and that's where I'm at with that.
Amen. Go ahead, peanut butter.
Uh, Talk about. I'm sorry, y'all.
Y'all get a
Mm.
room. Y'all get on my nerves.
No, it's something Ty said. It's something Ty said that made me think about something. I had a ex to call me and say thank you for pushing me, and I really didn't do nothing but was tell him to get a damn job, and he didn't get it. So I said, look, you got 4 months to get a job, or you gotta go because I'm not gonna take care of no dude. You can find money for drinking and all this. Like I kind of went kind of hard, but not too hard.
Hmm.
And when we saw each other again, he had like 2 jobs. He was getting his house. Like he was like, you were my motivation. He said, when you said that to me and you actually put your foot down and put me out, it made me realize, hey, I had a good situation and I fucked it up.
Mm,
Now it's time for me to grind. And I just feel like, nigga, you just had to grind because you was homeless. But I didn't take it as he really meant thank you.
Right.
So that's why I was almost about to cry. I try to, it doesn't matter. about your skin tone to me. I fuck everybody. If I want to fuck you, I'm going to fuck you.
Hmm.
I'm telling you that right now. That's how it's going to happen, and it has happened that way. You know what I'm
Who,
saying? Like
who do
it
you want
doesn't.
to right now?
It's something. Ty. So maybe jump on
I
a
felt that,
plane.
Ty. What you
I'm
So
sorry.
got?
maybe jump on a
I'm
plane,
sorry. I'm
but
sorry. I'm sorry. I'm
it
sorry.
just it's the vibe that you give me. I can tell you within 3 minutes of talking to a dude, it doesn't matter about your skin color, it's your energy you give me. If I'm gonna be like, nah, he ain't the one, that's a stalker. I'm gonna go this way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
no. And I'm usually right. There have been a couple of times I wasn't right, so shit, I got caught up in some shit, but uh it doesn't matter when it comes to that, it doesn't matter about your skin tone. And they try to say that all black men, and that's where colorism come in too, when they're saying all black men have big woo-has and white men have little woo-has. I'm here to tell you that shit is a fucking fake. I fucked a white man that I forgot he was white. Do you understand what I'm telling you guys? And I had to literally
Yeah.
stop and look and be like, oh my God, this is a white dude. So that y'all can cut that shit out right now. Since we talked about this color issue, listen, no, no,
Now I've never been with a white man, but I had a Hispanic girlfriend tell me the same thing
right. There are
about white
some.
men, and because I have slept with a black man, I do know that y'all all ain't packing.
No, not at all. Some of them are missing.
The truth.
So, um, no, I'm glad. No name calling, no name calling, but
Mm,
it, it,
mm,
it just
mm.
it just goes to show you, they think some women think that all light skinned dudes is packing. Some women think all black, darker tone guys are got the meat, and it's not always like that. It's a hit or a miss. It's whatever God say about it. It's on you whether it's all right. That's all I'm saying. So and people that could cause a lot of division too. When it comes to colorism, the light skin and the dark skin. He got better sex. He can do this better. He can no, because I done met some dark skinned niggas that I make some of these nice light skinned niggas blush. Some of the things they have. Hallelujah.
All right,
Flashback.
listen,
Come on, let's go. Let's go.
we need to take a break. We're gonna take a quick break and run this brief commercial. Look at them. We're gonna take a quick break, run this brief commercial. We're gonna come back to you with more of colorism. I hope you're enjoying the show. Please subscribe, share, host this channel, because your support is everything. So we'll be right back with you. I'm gonna go ahead and run our brief commercial, and remember, it's brief, so don't go nowhere, okay? But yeah. Thanks for watching. Hi guys, I'm Love's Passion. I'm a certified clinical sexologist. I specialize in normalizing the conversation of sex and sexuality. I'm not only a clinical sexologist, but I am also your bedroom candy representative. And today we're going to talk about some tools to add to your toolkit of sex. Today we're going to talk about our Seduce Me bed spray. It is a drying spray that is pheromone induced, and a little bit goes a long way with this spray. You know how you get that wet spot? This is what you need to take care of that wet spot. Or if you have little ones and they have accidents in the middle of the night, this is what you need. This is our Seduce Me bed sheet spray. This is pheromone induced, and this is an amazing product. It is $19, and you can find it online through one of my links on www.berrycandy.com/10595. You can also find it in the comments link of tonight's show. I look forward to you purchasing this and more wonderful tools to add to your sexuality case. Have a good night and enjoy the show. All right, I hope y'all enjoyed that brief commercial break. We're back and we're here. We're talking about colorism and how it relates to you in your love life and sex life. Why are you giggling?
I'm not giggling.
She looks like just our cat. She done swallowed the whole cat. The whole cat. All right, all right. So before we went to break, we were talking about colorism and how it affects us in dating and outside of our race dating. So we're going to move it forward. What about in search of your careers? Have you attributed your skin tone or your skin hue to disappointments or um, surprises that you may have thought you didn't deserve due to colorism?
Colorism or racism? I can say something about racism, but not necessarily colorism as far as my work experience.
Okay. Okay. Speak on
Okay.
it. Speak
And
on
I'm going to give you an example. Um, about 4 years ago, I was in on a project putting in a finance system at my job, and it's only African American woman in the room, and it there were so many frustrating times um, when we were working on the system because we had people from different departments giving their input, which rightfully should have been. But there was a white woman in the room. She was rude and she was loud and she was very opinionated.
it.
And anytime she had something to say, it wasn't a problem. But anytime I was in the room and I got upset about something, I was patted on my hand or, told to calm down, or, so, and it pissed me off because there was just there really wasn't a difference except for the fact that I was black and that she was white. And so I felt like I was quickly treated like I was the angry black woman instead
Mm,
of being heard or passionate like the white woman in the room.
mm. What about you, peanut butter? Nothing.
I'm a dancer, so we go out by looks anyway. So I said I'm a dancer. I am not a freaking dancer now, though. Now, when I was in the military, I will say it was I had both racism and colorism because we're like crabs in a bucket. We're trying to get up on top of each other. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm,
it they had cliques in the military. Like if you
right,
were this shade, you were together. If you were this shade, you were together. If you was some people didn't give a fuck, you hung with everybody, right? And it
right.
was we were fighting each other within fighting other people.
Mm,
Confused. And we all black. We all still getting cheated from the same rank. We still get this bullshit ass play. In a minute, it don't matter what color you is, because when we go across this line and start shooting, anybody can catch a bullet. They don't care about your color. They care about your uniform. You know
right.
what I'm saying? So, but you do have the different shades fighting against each other for rank, for that money, for that power, that prestige. You
Mm,
know what I'm saying? When it comes to work, in the military, it's like that because the closer you are to a piece of paper, the color of paper, the closer you are to that, it's like you get more privileges.
mm.
So to speak. I've seen it.
What about you, Ty?
Far as like institutionalized like colorism, like experiencing it. Yeah, I experienced it in school, high school. Um, I went to a predominantly white high school. Believe it or not, on the opposite side of things, I experienced it here in the music industry. You you got a black rapper can come say the same exact words, and you have a white rapper come rap it, and it is the best thing since sliced bread. Like, oh my god, he's so hot. Like, we gotta take him straight to the top, like right now. Like, main man just said that. He just said that, but so on the opposite side of things, I see it here in the industry. But um, the peanut butter was absolutely right with the military. Definitely the opportunities that you get, being a wonderful person and not a beautiful person, comes so much more. It comes faster. It comes more lucrative. Uh, you know, you find yourself moving up the ranks faster. I've seen it in corporate America. Far as even like pay structure and commission status, like you know, they I seen. It's just it was mind blowing. Like they're getting paid almost 12% more on every sale than what we're getting paid. And it's, how is this even legal? Like how is it even legal? But you'd be surprised how it happens. For those that don't know, I'm a nightclub owner. So in one of my places in Florida that I own, there was another establishment um, about half a mile down the road. Just to save myself from a lawsuit, I'm not gonna mention no names, but this place was like they had a black night. Sunday nights was their black night, and because one of their bartenders was my bartenders, I knew their price drinks because we were rivals naturally. But on Sunday, their prices for the same exact drink on their regular country night and karaoke night when they have their normal base crowd, their prices almost triple for their drinks on Sunday. In their portfolio, like in their notes in their system, they call Sunday Black Night, where they allow hip hop music and stuff like that. But it is crazy. I've seen in the business, so that goes to show you how much more we paying in urban communities. We're paying so much more for groceries. You can't buy good food. There is no good food places to buy. Whole Foods, Publix, things of that nature. We don't have those in those communities. So, we have to travel miles to get good food. This is all by design. Fast food in our communities. No produce. No. What are these kids supposed to eat?
Right. So,
That's
Ty,
true.
you're hitting on our next topic is we're moving to the future, to the present, to the future. How do you see colorism being combated now? What things do you see that are affecting the conversation of colorism and attempting to dwindle it and its perception and views on our lives and our futures?
I honestly I think that it takes, and please don't jump down my throat when you hear me say this, but just hear me out. It's going to take more people in position of power like Donald Trump. And here's why I say this. This is why I say this. Not that I voted for Trump, not that I supported Trump. It's not that. But Trump was a rich white man, right? That he did not have to take the money of the elite, right? He didn't have to take the lobbyist money. So he could be who he was and exactly who he is. And what he did was he made he made it comfortable for those that had the teachers, the doctors, the lawyers, who they were, right? And what they and how they didn't like black people and they didn't like color. He made them comfortable to come out, right? And what
Right.
that did was it began to peel back the layers of the onion of America.
Mm. What about you, Deb?
What's the question again?
Yeah, because you got to process what Ty just said. You can't
Yeah,
just keep going like that. You gotta
Did
let us
y'all get
breathe.
stuck on Trump? Did y'all get stuck on
No,
Trump?
I give you.
I agree with what Chai is saying, because all Trump did was really expose the true thoughts and feelings of people, and he made them comfortable um, expressing their hatred for non-white people,
Yeah,
because it wasn't just for us.
The melanated.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
the charade's over. You figure
Right.
they abolished they so-called abolished slavery, which is not, because it's still in place in the amendment, and you know what I mean. Slavery is still applicable if to as a punishment to a crime thereof committed. You know what I mean. Slavery still exists, so it's not really put away. So the
Right.
charades, we've been going through a game of charades up until this point.
Right.
And what Trump did was he stopped the charades. People didn't have to hide anymore. The correctional
Mm-hmm.
officers, the cops, the school teachers, the lawyers. In Charlotte, North Carolina, in Charlotte, those were lawyers, those were doctors, those were school teachers, those were
Mm-hmm.
firefighters, policemen, military, who was up and down the street with them tiki torches.
Yeah, that is true. This is true. Look, the question is, what do you see today that is attempting to diminish the colorism that we've grown up with?
well, I think I said a little bit about it um, in the beginning of the show, where as far as uh, I think the beauty of melanated women is celebrated more now, and I'm really really happy to see that, because uh, melanated women have always been beautiful to me. You know, melanated people. Um, so I'm I'm just happy to see our hair and our skin tone and 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 our culture, being celebrated more. We melanated women are um, the vision of, the perception of beauty now more than I think that we've ever seen, in the past. So
Mm.
I would say that.
All right. What about you, P? PB&J.
First of all, I want to say I feel so lovely to be melanated. She just made me feel so sexy. Uh, thank you, Deb. Um, Future, I think it's being downplayed a little bit. I watch I have a 2-year-old granddaughter, so I'm watching the kid shows, and I see that there's not an all black or all white show. It's like mixed up now. They have all the races in there. It's an Asian kid, a black, Latino, whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
They're all mixed in there, and they're all friends. So I think that they're trying to undo what they did.
Isn't that
Yeah,
a good thing?
it's a good thing. And I don't know if it's gonna work, because
I said
still you
no.
have, right. Because look, you got the media, right? Look at Meg the Stallion. I think Meg the Stallion might be the, other than Foxy Brown, might be the darkest rapper of this time. Like her skin tone is like the darkest.
Oh, Megan.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kimmy
I guess.
D13, thanks for joining us.
Yeah.
Hey baby, Megan Thee Stallion may be the darkest one, because think about it, it was Nicki Minaj, Cardi B. They were the biggest things for a long time, and then Beyonce is not dark. She's on the lighter side. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So you look at that they're bringing in more darker shades, and then they're not just letting them stand alone. They bringing in all the shades. So I
Mm.
think that this is, and if parents could use it in some type of way as a tool, if your children are different shades, or, because nobody's the exact same shade. Nobody is the exact same shade. We all got our own shade, right? So
Right.
if I think if they see more things like that, not just with television, but inside the structure of the home, it'll start breaking it back a little bit more. And to speak on what Ty said when he said what Donald Trump did, I said that it was not just exposure, but pulling the scales off of melanated people eyes. Now, these people you thought were your friends because they were pretending, right? Now you really see what they are and who they are and why they may have been under you or whatever, you know. So it pulled the scales back over our eyes.
Mhm.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, so Ty is saying no. So go ahead, Ty.
I'm just not with the kumbaya, the sing kumbaya thing and act like things are changing because it's not. You know what I mean? Because you show these TV commercials, you got these TV shows, and you got the black, the white, the Chinese, and the Latina, and you sing this kumbaya like it's like that, and it's not. When you go right outside your door, young black queen, in the middle of North Philadelphia, and you can't find a grocery store in 5 miles with fresh food, tell me that when you
I mean, I agree with you because personally, I don't think racism will ever die.
Mm-mm.
I don't. I don't
go
think
to
it will
school and the
ever
creatives,
die.
huh?
It'll never die.
I
Huh?
don't
They've
think
said
racism. I
racism will
don't think.
never
I
die.
don't think racism will ever die. I just don't because it's taught. It's taught behavior, and people are just going to keep on teaching those messed up ideas.
Which makes it
Said it.
hard for the colorism part of the whole situation, you know, because like we said, they're cousins. Racism and colorism is cousins. So
Yeah, it can't be
we're
one
gonna
without the other.
always have, yeah, we're gonna always have this, so you're gonna always have this.
Hmm.
It's hard to say what can we do when if somebody has it fixated in their mind, this is what they're gonna tell their children, or this is how they're gonna raise their kids. There is nothing we could do about this. So what we can do is if we run into individuals that's experiencing that, try to guide them through it. Try. I mean, I was
Maybe
talking to a
kiss
lady at the
my
grocery
ass.
store. You know, you have to give them the best advice you can give them and pray that it works, because that's not something that we need to have right now. It's hard to be unified if you're fighting within.
Yeah, we got to get home right first, and that's what I was kind of saying earlier. Like we're still, our people is really messed up. Like we had a number done on us. Like I mean, and we haven't had enough good years to expect a real change yet. I mean,
Right.
have you know what I mean? How many good years have we had? So how do we
Years?
start to change generations? Huh?
I said, yeah, we had a couple of months.
Mhm.
Yeah, a couple months. You know, we had a couple months. We had our first black president in office for 2 terms, and they fought him tooth and nail
Yeah,
for everything.
he couldn't breathe
Right,
without somebody objecting,
That baby
right.
left
You
gray
know,
headed.
so we
but they
like
all
so
do.
you so we have to get back to the knowledge of self, who we are as a people, as creators. We are the same people that created Black Wall Street fresh out of slavery, that they bombed and destroyed.
Right. I think that we are moving the needle. You know, in before pre-COVID, before, a black man would get killed, there'd be, protests, and then we go back to the same old, channel. But I do see things that have changed because of where we came from, starting with George Floyd, and just moving forward, like that. The marketing has changed. The conversations have changed. The I was watching BET, the hip hop awards, and I normally don't watch that because it has gotten a little scantily, but I was proud of what I saw because that's us presenting us to the world. And it looked like they went back to the old you don't show your butt on stage. You're not gonna be doing all of this cursing, and we're not gonna have news shows about what fight and who got shot after the show. I mean, I was really proud of that moment with the BET Hip Hop Awards because I stopped watching. I had accidentally stumbled on it, and I was like, okay, let me see what's going on. And I was really thrown back that it was presentable. And I'm like, okay, I think we like Ty said, we need to start doing the work for our generation, for our race. We got to start the conversation and change the conversation on what we are and who we are and what we represent. We can't expect someone else to fix our own house if we don't fix it ourselves.
Right. We got to do better. We got to start owning our platforms, having control of that. You know, we talk about BET and BET. That's a great thing that we starting to trying to change the narrative. But you know, we don't even own BET anymore. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? And you got Bill Cosby trying to buy a network, and you see what they put him through.
Right. Right.
You see what they put him through. So we got to start to own our platforms, build our platforms, so that way we can have control. We as a people in this country spend 1.2 to 1.3 trillion dollars a year.
Mm.
That's our spending power as
Yes.
just black people, black men and black women in America. Our spending power is 1.2 trillion a year.
Mhm. I don't know if y'all noticed, but like when George after the
The
George Floyd
ninth.
incident and all of the uh I'm sorry, he's still talking? Are you still talking,
Can
Ty?
you hear me?
You froze. You
Can
froze,
you
Blue.
hear me?
You froze.
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now. Yeah.
Okay.
So, are you
Huh?
saying something?
Yeah, I was
Look.
saying what our 1.2 trillion would be the ninth. We will be the ninth largest spending power country in the world. Just the black man and black women of America will have the ninth largest spending power, buying power as a country in the world. But our dollar circulates in our community less than one time.
Hmm.
Point six, point six,
I don't
one
know if
dollar.
y'all remember. I don't know if y'all remember. We had the Black No Spin Day, and after that day, you saw things really kind of resonate and change because I think that we as a people saw that where our power lies is not in protesting. It's not in, demanding, speaking a lot of words. It's in showing a lot of actions because our power lies in our purchase power, not in our
Right.
power to join together and march on, do all these marches. We've been marching. It's now time for a different conversation to be had, where
Yeah.
we come together as one people and say, where do our power lie? In our spending power. If we take our spending dollars and we put our money back into our communities, things change. That one day I saw change just kind of like instantaneously. Yelp has
Yes.
a black
Hey,
only shopping,
right. Come on back. Come on back.
oh,
Colorism.
we
Colorism.
not on colorism. This is about colorism because it racism and colorism goes into the same pot. Until we are able to come together as one black community, nothing's
I mean,
gonna change.
right. I mean, just think about, even if you try to take colorism and you bring it back to, like, you even with economics, right? Our dollar circulates, like I said, point six of one time. In the Jewish
Mhm.
community, they dollar circulate seven times before it leaves. Think
Mm.
about think about a community think about a community of people that could start a business and it be able to survive. You understand? Think about how the man and the woman changes in a community that they know of, that they have a culture and they have ties to. We like, you see Little Italy, you see Little Greek, you see Chinatown, you see all these different, but there's nothing there. So colorism plays an effect of that, because you see Chinatown, they're doing very, very well. They're doing very, very well. You see, little Greek, little Italy, they're doing very, very well. And that overall, granted, everybody's going to have their issues, but overall, it changes the mentality of the people in the
Mm-hmm.
community, which is why we have some men, right, that won't date black women because, oh, the angry black woman, the colorisms. It ties all together. She's angry because she damn right. She I would be angry too.
Mm-hmm.
Look at what she has to go through. Yeah, damn right. I would be angry.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's been said that the black um, culture has to work 10 times harder than the white culture. But when you are a darker hue, you got to put a little 5% more on top of that just to stand into the same platform or the same shoes as your counterpart. But our next question or dynamic that we're going to go into is how can we as individuals help to create a platform where colorism is front and center and help others to see the light of the the light of their ways.
I can marry Ty.
Hey, come on, baby. Come on. And we're gonna put all them pre-biases right to the side.
Right to the side.
We're gonna work right through it, I promise you.
Ah,
It might be a little
Ty,
bumpy for you,
don't
it might be a
play
little
with
bumpy for
me.
me. But
Ty.
together we'll get through it.
Who? I hear you talking.
I mean, what about us, me and Deb? What about what we gonna do? I mean, Jesus Christ.
Y'all gonna be Oprah and Gail.
Oh God. We're gonna be opening. Really? That's what we doing.
No, no, seriously. You gotta. It's gotta start in home first. I mean, we can try to help people, but your if your help is not received, then it's for naught. But just move on to the next person. Don't let that one person distract you.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't want to receive it, that's fine. Move on to the next person. But it starts at home first. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I said, my kids are different shades. We got Indian, black. We got a little bit of German from on their daddy's side, not on my side. But it's all mixed up in my kids. But at the end of the day, one is darker, one is red, and one is, little bit light skinned, fair skinned. But that's not how I raised them. I raised them. This is your brother. This is your sister. They don't see skin. They
Yeah.
see if you fuck with
Well,
my
we
brother,
see,
I'll
but it
bust up.
doesn't matter.
Right.
Right. And because and then it's really hard for those, and I pray for these mothers that have kids that are made by two black parents, and then they have that mixed kid, because then sometimes that's where bullying comes in with that colorism. You know what I'm saying? When it comes
Mm,
to the family, because maybe the mom treats the light skinned kid better than she treats the other one. It's gonna
right.
cause a problem. So you have to look at that. That's why if you just say this your brother, this your sister, and treat them both the same, it won't. You know what I'm saying? Because kids don't care. Kids don't have filters. Mama like me better because I'm brighter than you, or I'm lighter than you. My hair better than yours.
Mm-hmm.
You don't want your kids doing that. So just say this is your brother, this is your sister, right? And treat them both the same. No matter how
Right.
you feel, you have to treat both them the same so that they know, hey, I will whoop both of y'all asses, but I will hug both of y'all too.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in with children, so it's become a known fad where other cultures would adopt African American or even African children or children just not of their ethnicity. How do you all feel about, you know, adoptive parents adopting outside of their race?
Um,
Go ahead,
I know
Ty.
y'all gonna think I'm bad. Y'all gonna think I'm bad. But I honestly, what's funny is because I did a not a violence interruption program with the Arlington Police Department, and we did this in what violence interruption program is really to tackle. um, to tackle systematic racism and right and how it applies in colorism and things of that nature, and try to get the police officers to see that ultimately what we're really doing is we're having racial biases and societal biases, right? And the pastor of this church where we had it at, which is a huge church, right? He and his wife decided to adopt a black girl, a little black girl. And I mean, black is black, not mixed. I mean, black, young black girl. Cool. Now you got these two white parents that adopt this black girl, and we begin to have the conversation. And he was humble enough to have the conversation with us. And what made you adopt a black girl? Like, what made you adopt a young black woman? And he said that I just really I fell in love with her, and I really wanted to give her a fair chance at life. And I'm like, is this because you knew that she would not have a fair chance without the things that you can offer her?
Mm, mm,
And he said, as it went on, yes. He said, I have to kind of admit I wasn't prepared for the things that I thought I was by adopting her. I had I had family friends that walked away because I adopted a black girl, a black
Mm.
young lady. I had people from my congregation leave the congregation because they say I only adopted her to save face or as a publicity stunt.
mm.
So
Wow.
you ask, okay, well, what really was your intentions? Like, what made you think you had any tools in your tool bag to prepare her as a black woman in America,
Hmm.
besides money, good credit, right? Like, besides the things that you can buy her way,
Cause she can't get your white privilege.
she can't get your white privilege. And that ultimately was what it concluded as. He said, I have to admit, I wasn't one before, but I realize now I had white privilege.
Okay,
Mm.
so Ty, I mean, something you just said, is the only thing that we can learn, period, from another culture is the things that they can buy. Was that your analysis of his adopting a African American child?
My analysis is this. I simply asked him, what can you what what could you possibly feel like besides your monetary means, right? You Caucasian man, your wife Caucasian woman. You decided not a white child that needs a home, right? But you decide the very exact opposite of that, knowing what America is. Like, that's not be we know where we live. We know the reality of it. It's not like we're making something out of nothing. So we know this, right? So knowing the life that she's going to have to go through as a black woman, not only not only the things, the uphill battle, not only as a woman but as a black woman on top of that. How how do you think you could adequately prepare her for that?
They can't.
Couldn't he
So
love
do you think that a white family can't teach her self-love and to appreciate everything
Self
that
love,
she is?
self love is not self love is something you could be taught. If you someone loves you and respects you, they can teach you self love. So self see this is love.
Um
Love doesn't love is the part that's not color. Love is the part
right?
that
And
if
that's
it if it
and that's why he adopted a black child because he didn't
No,
see
I get
color.
what Ty is saying. This is what Ty is saying. Think about this. As a black woman, we have struggles that other races don't, but we bounce back. No matter what the adversity, I don't care what shade of brown you are, If you are a black woman, if your daddy black, you got 1% black in you, you're black. So listen to what I'm saying. We bounce back from adversities that if she would have been a white little girl, she wouldn't have, she wouldn't have to know.
Right.
But because she's black, there are things that he cannot tell her because he's never experienced it. Her mother, I'm sorry, adopted mom can't tell her because she's never experienced it.
Right.
So she doesn't know what it is to walk in a true black woman's shoes. Where
Right.
you walk in a department store and you know that you got a black card in your pocket, but you get followed around.
Kimmy
I've had
D13 says, I beg to differ. My mama was white and she brought up 3 strong black women. Now I'm with Kimmy on this one because the thing
No,
is,
no,
raising a
Kim.
child does not depend on your color, because a white person can successfully raise a child.
Oh,
It does not necessarily mean they're going to be able to give them the black experience. However, love sees no color. Would you have rather him left the child destitute and where she was, or to
Exactly.
give her his own life?
no, that's okay. All right. By all means, no disrespect, but that's I call a straw man argument. Like we could say, okay, it's not. We're not saying we'd rather the child not have a home. That's not what we're saying. Right? That's not what's being said. What's being said is that child is a black woman. And as far as Kimmy D, your mother could have raised very well, much so, and credit to her, raised 3 beautiful women.
I'm
this
one
damn
of them.
sister.
I'm one of them.
Oh,
Go ahead. I'm
okay,
listening.
raised
That's my bad. Hey, kid.
beautiful, 3 beautiful black women. Yes, that you are. But your mother could never experience what you have to experience in this country as a black woman. She could never experience it. There's
No,
Just
no
she
because
way
could.
possible.
No, she couldn't. But that's the beauty of life. We didn't need her to. We were going to learn that on our own.
So,
exactly.
what?
But I had a black daddy and a black grandmother and a black aunt and so on and so forth, who I that I had.
Laced it up.
Yeah.
I think that
So
we are really on a cusp of the colorism issue,
Thank you, Rich.
because when it comes to looking at how to raise a child, it doesn't matter what your skin hue is. It matters what the content of your character is.
No,
If your content of your character is in the right place and in the right space, because there's no perfect parent. I don't know about y'all, but my mama didn't tell me nothing about being a black woman. I knew that because I grew up to be one. Period.
my baby did. My
Do-
granny did.
I don't. I mean, so I don't like. I was talked to about it. I was talked to about it. I talked to my children about it. There's converse. There's If I was a white man, I wouldn't know what to tell my black son when he get pulled over by the police, what to do and how to act. Because I don't have that. I don't have if I was a white man, I don't have that knowledge. I don't have that fear.
but you don't
But you
think
don't
that
think, a white man can see what society is going on in society and can actually have an intelligent, truthful conversation about what he should expect when he's out if he gets pulled over by the police? He can't
What to
relate
tell
from
his
Some
experience,
of them don't feel comfortable talking about
but
it.
I disagree. I think a white person could tell him what to expect. He can't relate.
he
He may
can't
not he may not be speaking from experience, but I still think that he could lace him up.
he
and
could
I'm
lace him up. Why? Because he watched TV. He watched the news. You
well,
don't
no,
know what that.
Ty,
You
no,
don't know what
no, no,
that's.
Ty.
You don't know what that's like as a. You don't know
I'm
what.
talking about getting pulled over by the police. I'm not talking about the black
Okay, right.
experience.
That's what I'm talking about. Being pulled over as the police. I can Until you feel the fear of death.
Whew.
of
Wait a
death
minute. Wait a minute.
because you
So
see
so say for
red
example,
and
if
blue
you
lights
were a
behind
black,
you.
if you are a black man and you've never been pulled over by the police, I mean, it there might be some somewhere,
My
but
husband
if
won. My
okay,
husband won.
so
Never been pulled over
uh,
by the
he's never had that experience. But do you think he's not qualified to tell your sons what to expect when the police pulled him over? Now,
You know what makes him qualified, even though he's never experienced it, because he looks himself in the mirror and see a black man and know, granted that I may not have never experienced this firsthand yet, he can channel that level of fear of not making it back home to his family because he can see himself in the mirror and say, that is a real reality for me because I am this color.
but parents, take on a persona where things that happen to their children is more detrimental than the things that would happen to them. So if a white man adopts or white or Caucasian or other ethnicity adopts a race outside of their race, that love is still a parent loving their child. They feel that same fear. And I think that it moves the conversation forward because you have other races being able to experience what we experience. We cannot fix this by ourselves. It's not a conversation that needs to be had amongst one race. It's a conversation that needs to be had amongst all. And the only way you do that is by it being an experience that they experience, even if it's through their children or
So
their
and white
adopted.
people may
okay,
not
so
have the
what's
same
what's your
experience of
opinion
black
on a
people, but
black
white
couple?
people also have the experience of what is talked behind closed doors and the things that we don't hear. So they can give them they can tell them about life from a completely different perspective that we know nothing about.
Exactly.
Granted, they have the blue book, they have the blueprint and the blue book behind the scenes and things of that nature, right? This is why a child being adopted by a white family can benefit by learning the ways of privilege, the ways that your privilege gets you, the knowledge that your privilege gets you. Being in certain positions in certain communities in certain environments, school districts, and education surroundings, you can learn certain things that you may not have learned being in your quote unquote stereotypical community. But my question is, with this being said, what are your opinions on a black family adopting a white child?
I think it's a great narrative, because the thing, once we realize that we are all human beings and that our skin tone does not determine our altitude or our plight in life, um, we change the conversation. The conversation needs to be changed from skin tone, from color, from race, to understand that we're all, at the end of the day, human beings. We bleed the same color blood, and there are different experiences for everybody, and we need to understand everybody's different experience. You know, just saying.
I mean, I kind of agree with you because the idea of racism and colorism, period, infuriates me. Because the fact that you can come up with an idea about who I am and what you think I am and what you think I know and what do you think I've been through based on the color of my skin is asinine to me. The fact that I mean, we all have so much in common. It's really unfortunate that we don't take the time to try to relate to one another because you think because this is a white man he can't relate to anything that I'm going through.
Right.
It's superficial. You take a look at me, and because I'm not I'm because I'm brown, you already think you know who I am and what I'm about and what I do, and vice
Mm-hmm.
versa. That's
Right. You
bullshit.
take the George Floyd incident. That pain was felt across racial divides. And it was only till then did anything even start to change. The conversation came to the forefront where they're saying, oh, there may be a problem here. Let me do some intersection. We are a little bit
I
further
mean, I
than,
don't know what took him so long, but I mean,
well,
it
it's
did
a little
open
bit
the
further.
eyes of a lot of non-black people.
Right.
How? This is the part that baffles me because This is not something new. This is not
It's
something.
not
This is
new
not
to
But that's what I
something
us.
said. It
new.
took them a long time. It took some
let,
of
let
them
me
a
say,
long time, but
And it's still it is still happening.
Yes,
Still.
it
it's been
yes,
happening.
I'm not
The only
arguing that because you
difference
are
is
correct, Todd.
the only difference is now people have the technology to record them. See, back then they didn't have all that. They didn't have cameras and people watching them and everywhere you tell somebody got an iPhone or they didn't have that. So they
But
could be sneaky.
peanut butter, please do not stop. Do not stop. But this is
They
the
could be
same
sneaky.
country. This the same country that was found guilty of assassination of Martin Luther King. Guilty. So
Yeah.
we this is what the nature of this beast. This is what it is.
because just because it is what it is, it does not mean that we cannot do anything to change it.
We can
We
try, but
know
it takes
exactly.
more
We
than
know
one.
the problem. We can attempt to change it, and it starts with us, because we gotta recognize our own um racism within ourselves, within our culture.
Okay, and I agree with you on that because when I saw people protesting in the streets, one of the things I said, and please black people don't kill me, I just said I wish we had that same energy within our own community.
No, that's true. That's facts.
Right.
That's
But
facts.
with the protest, I was happy that it was more of a joined protest versus, there's a whole bunch of black people walking down the street and it's not a protest, that's a mob. But when you get different races, it's now a protest. It is a conversation.
Well,
Hmm.
I'm
And
gonna
it's
be honest.
happening across the world, not just in your own backyard.
Right.
When, Ty, when you were saying what took them so long, because that's their lived experience. We don't know what white people do. We don't know what Caucasian people do. We don't know the cultures of the Asians. We don't know the culture of the Hispanics because we live in our own little bubble and it's our black bubble and we have our own black experience. But it's until we bust that bubble and start to reach outside of ourselves, and they do too, will we have a lived experience amongst the cultures, not just one.
Well, I think what you do. I think what you're starting to see is you're starting to see the grandchildren of the slave owners, and they are starting to say, some of them now are brave enough to risk their fortunes by speaking out against grandma and grandpa.
Right.
You know what I
Right.
mean? Because
Because you did see that.
you know what I
Right.
mean? Because now you are seeing some of that. You're seeing some of that happen, and you're getting some that leaks through that really means well.
Right.
But
It
the
means
thing
it.
about it is, she's saying that we need to reach out to others, but we got to get ourselves right first. Because if we
Right,
still tripping over the light skin, the dark, it should never be light skin versus dark skin. It
but
should
this
never
is
be that.
a byproduct of why we are this way in the first place. This is the byproduct of a mindset of a white man who implanted this into us. This is what you're seeing, how you're seeing us act and interact with ourselves. We think we doing what we want to do. The young bull in the street, he think he being hard to the dude on the corner that look just like him, and he macho man. But you have no idea. You really being manipulated. You're really being manipulated by the mentality of how we were released back into population, right? And how we are now cultivated and populated along in schools built like prisons. We on schedules. You go outside our communities, those schools are built like college campuses.
Mm-hmm.
But our schools built like prisons.
Right.
Our systems are built like prisons. The way they move us into the schools are just like prisons. You understand what I'm saying? So the you really being manipulated. And then what we do is we'll kill our buzz. Yes, I do not agree with us killing each other. We gotta stop that. We gotta put the guns down. However,
Right. With
however,
that too.
in predominantly black communities, there's going to be black on black crime. So when we have people step up and kill a protest going on because, oh, no, I'm not directing this to you, Dad, but I've heard it so many times. Well, where's this when we kill each other in our own communities? Or, well, where's this at in black on black crime? If you look in a black community, all you're gonna see is black on black crime. If I look on a
Mhm.
white community, guess what I'm gonna see? White
Right
on
on.
white crime. They kill each
Mm-hmm.
other too. They break into each other's cars too.
No, they do, but and you what I want to say about that is this is the thing. A lot of us get up, race across the board with the same agenda. We get up, we
Mhm.
work hard for our family, we live an honest life, and then across the board, you have people that are hateful, who rob, who steal, who kill. It's not just one people, So that's. I'm not saying that, but
Right.
I know that we have work to do on within our own community as well. You have good and bad in each and every race. There's big dicks and little dicks in each and every race. It is what it is. You know.
Right. We cannot stop
Big
cleaning
boobs and
house.
small boobs.
We
Yeah.
cannot stop cleaning the house and wait for the perfect time to start a conversation. We got to do our work internally, but we also have to do it externally. It has to exist on a bigger picture, and we have to reach across all lines. You know, reach across, talk to the light skins, across, talk to the dark skins, bring
And
them
just
together.
grab it sometimes.
But you also
And
still have to
just
be
stop judging a
for
book by
the
its
other.
color because decency is in everyone.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. Yes. You are so right.
Yeah, I mean, look, one I listen to Minister Farrakhan. I listen to Minister Farrakhan. I do. I don't make no doubts about it. I don't make no shame about it. And
Mhm.
one of his best friends, one of his biggest supporters, is Father Flegger. Father Flegger is a white man who's a priest and from the Catholic Church, right? And he is one of the minister's biggest supporters in the world. That man will go with the minister anywhere. So that is that is we when back in the day, right? They used to say, "Oh, the blue-eyed devil, the white man is the devil," right?
Mhm.
And to an extent, at the time, based off of what we've been through, it was true. But
Right.
here's why that had to change. Why that had to change and why they don't say that anymore is because we all have the propensity to be devil at any
Right.
time. We all have the propensity to be devil. So just like so you environment outweighs genetics if environment is strong enough.
Hmm.
Right.
So just because you may genetically don't even know why predisposed don't like me because I'm black. You don't even know why.
Hmm.
You just you don't even have a clue why you dislike me because I'm black. But if the environment is strong enough, it can outweigh that genetic disposition, right? And that genetic disposition calls you to do evil like things to me, right? But guess what? Even as a black man, I could still do those evil like things and have that same genetic disposition that makes me evil too. That makes me devil.
Whew. Okay, Ty. You took it all. You took it all the way in. We don't rode this. We don't rode it the horse
Collect
all.
flag. I'm a church fan.
I'm sorry.
Listen, guys. It is that time again. This has been an awesome show, and you know we talk about a whole lot of stuff, and we always get off topic, which we did again tonight. It's cool because it was
You
great.
think we got on topic today?
Yes, we got off topic.
We
A
did
Really?
pretty
little
good
bit.
though. I
That's
think
not
I
racist.
think
I
this
This
is
do
is not
this.
racism. This is colorism. Y'all
Colorism?
forgot. This is
we
colorism.
talked a lot about colorism and his cousin.
We forgot about the colorism a little bit. Look at Ty. Oh,
I
dang.
thought we talked about colorism the whole time.
Look, colorism and racism do exist in the same family. you know,
So we
but
separate colorism and racism.
yes,
Okay.
yes, yes, yes. But we did talk about some pertinent things, things that need to have a conversation had. And again, whew, y'all make me provoke thought all the time. I tell you, I absolutely love talking to you guys because we may disagree, but we'll agree to disagree and we'll keep it moving. I adamantly don't like arguing, but I do like changing thoughts and
Debate,
expressing.
debating. That's what you do. Really tired.
Not me, not me. But again, it's been an awesome show. Thank you guys for watching in the chat. Please like, subscribe, and share our page. If you're on YouTube, you can watch these shows over and over again and catch our past shows. YouTube channel is Love's Passion underscore Coach. I am Love's Passion. I have my beautiful Deb, my beautiful PB and J peanut butter, and the phenomenal Thai Bear 69
Pretty.
coming to you every Sunday 8 p.m. Central Time with topics to make you think and provoke thought. Tonight's topic has been colorism, and I think we have talked it out. Thank you guys for watching. We love you. We appreciate you. Come see us again next Sunday. Have a great night.